Hello world. This is Irene. This is going to be my first actually publicly posted video to the rest of the world. I'm here because I like to make games, and so I thought I would start a big, huge project, kind of micro projects, I should say. I'm going to be building a game a week in Unity, and so this is my first vlog about the process of making this game. So what I chose, I really like roguelike games, but I find they're all very, very similar. I also really like puzzle games, so hey, why not a roguelike puzzler? Sounds good to me. So, our first project for this 1 week, I'm going to give myself exactly 1 week from today uh, to finish this game. And whatever is done. And if it's not perfect, then it's not perfect. I'm title in progress. We're going to make a maze, but with roguelike elements. Um, and so Roguelike puzzle game in which basically you're going to be able to improve your game in between every single run. So you're going to lose a lot, and then you come back and you buy more upgrades, and you get better, just like a roguelike. So you're going to have a bunch of puzzle pieces, and the puzzle pieces are going to be little maze pieces that kind of click together. And so if you stack those correctly, you'll be able to reach the exit and get away. Along the way, there's also going to be treasure and coins and all kinds of stuff for you to pick up that will also help you improve your game. So you have to think about whether or not you want to use any of your puzzle pieces to go and get treasure and do better. There's also going to be obstacles. There's going to be different paths along each piece. They all kind of click together, so they should work. However, you only have a limited number of pieces before the game ends, and you get kicked back out to the main menu. But that's the point of a roguelike. So you'll lose and you'll buy more stuff, and then you'll come back and get better and better and start passing the levels. You win by reaching the exit, which progresses you to the next level. Um, and then in between levels, the main menu lets you upgrade the game by buying pieces, power ups, expansions, all kinds of stuff to make it better. So right now I have 7 levels planned, and each one has a different element. So like the earth obstacles are going to be little places where you can't place a piece. Air is going to pick up your piece and flip it around if you put it on top of it. Fire will basically create a little death zone that you can't walk through. Water, I think, is probably the biggest challenge. If you put a piece down on top of a water tile, it floods your entire maze. And if you are in one of the flooded pieces, it's like insta death and you lose. And then level 7 is going to be all of the 4 elements in one. And so that's kind of your ultimate challenge. So some of the upgrades we're going to have, you can buy like better pieces. It'll be rated, so white will be basic. Green, blue, gold, of course, is the ultimate, and it's probably only going to be one gold piece that basically has all paths available. You can mirror a piece horizontally, mirror it vertically, um, or unlock the ability to choose between 2 pieces. So from the start, you'll basically get a piece. It's kind of Tetris-like, where you get one piece and that's what you get, and you're gonna have to do your best with that. You can buy an upgrade that'll let you at least select between 2 different pieces, which one you want to place. Otherwise, it's going to randomly choose pieces, and so you might not get the perfect piece every time. You probably won't. You'll just have to puzzle it out. Puzzle, see what I did there? Anyways, you could also buy more moves per level. So I haven't decided on the balance yet. I think it's going to be like 20 pieces per level. It might be 10. I don't know. This is going to be a work in progress. Uh, Also, maybe the ability to teleport. So, like, you put down a piece and you teleport from where you are to that piece, and so then it lets you kind of skip parts of the level or whatever. But I'm debating about that one because I could see a very cheaty way. It's going to be limited in how far you can get the camera up. It's going to follow your character up along the tunnel that you're in. So you won't be able to see the exit as soon as you start. There will actually be a little guide dot showing you where the exit is. So you couldn't just start the level and put a piece down and teleport to the exit, but I don't know. Maybe I'll write it and try it out, and if I don't like it, then I'll remove it. It's easier to take stuff out than it is to add it. And then also as an ultimate sort of end game, once you've bought all of the other pieces, will be something that lets you remove 3 obstacles. So that should be something that helps you through the final level. Um, so as far as challenges, uh, balance is always the hardest part of a game for me, especially when I put in an economy. So somehow you're going to pick up coins as you move along, and you're also going to get some number of coins when you get to the end. As a congratulations for finishing, you get 5 coins or 10 coins or I don't know, some number of coins. And then those are the coins that you're going to spend on your upgrades. So I don't want you to like buy out all of the upgrades just by doing the first level 18 times or even 5 times or whatever. I want you to like be challenged to lose and lose and lose and come back and finally buy things out so you can win. That's kind of the spirit of the roguelike game. Uh, the another one will be like creating nodes that are always reachable by puzzle pieces and sizing. Those two are related because I there's a side of this where I can make all of the assets inside Unity. They're going to be very simple, um, kind of polygonal assets, but I want to practice, and so I'm going to practice using Blender and use Blender where I kind of don't have to use Blender here. But what that means is everything has to be sized correctly, and all of the nodes, meaning the places where treasure and coins can spawn, and all the obstacles, have to be places that the paths in the little placeable puzzle pieces are going to reach. Otherwise, they're kind of pointless. So once I figure that out, once I figure out what my sizing is, it shouldn't be too hard to create the nodes. That's just math, right? If I have, 100 by 200 size tunnel, 100 pixel by 200 pixels, I can just do it like every 10 pixels is a node, and that will be right. So I just have to do some basic division and rounding and random number generation. That's fine, but I have to figure out how the sizing is going to work. I think that problem will solve itself once I start like working on things in Blender and Unity. Speaking of, I just need practice. I also considered, as I was kind of dreaming up this idea, it's basically a 2D game, right? You're only moving in a two-dimensional space. There's no need for it to be three-dimensional. You don't need that z-axis or y-axis. So like Blender uses Z and Unity uses Y. It's a thing. Don't worry about it. Um, but wouldn't it be cool if I had an extra sort of like cue for the player with shadows? So I'm gonna have the exit cast a light, and then the shadows will be like reflected off the walls, and it'll look cool. I hope it's gonna look cool. Trust me. So that's just easier to do in 3D. So even though you're going to be playing in 2D, I use Blender to make some 3D game objects, and you'll only ever see them from like the top down. I hope. Another thing that I challenge myself to do is colorblind friendly scheme. People with any kind of visual acuities. It's I know. I think game design should take this into account. If you're not making your game inherently colorblind, friendly, you should make it possible for anyone to access your game. So that's less of a challenge and more just a matter of using the tools to test for like colorblind friendliness. Um, that's fine. Most of this game is not going to be that big of a challenge. Like the lava is going to be red, which could be a challenge for red green, but I just have to test it. That's all. That's it. There's a tool that lets you like change the color of your screen, so it's a thing. It's fine. It's fine. All this is fine. Technical challenge. I haven't really used Unity 6 yet. Unity likes to rewrite itself every couple months, I swear. So everything you know about Unity, forget it. We just overrode it all. So we're using Unity 6. Um, Camera movement. This is going to be a new scheme. So I'm going to have like the tunnel will be either this way or be this way, or maybe it'll like go up and like curve. So I want the camera to like go up along the tunnel so like the player is moving around the middle. As they go up the tunnel, the camera will move this way rather than following the player in zigzags and everything. So that'll limit your view, but you'll at least get a view of the maze where you're standing, like the entire width of it. So I don't know how to make the camera move like that. I'll work it out. Uh, Another thing, so I haven't tried this really in Unity. I did it in Unreal Engine with like a UI that updates like you have so many bullets left or you've hit so many targets, and there's like a logic inside of the UI. So I'm debating right now. there's a way to create a canvas. And if I could have that canvas populate with like the next piece that you get to place, um, then that would be kind of nice because then everything is sort of glued to the screen. But if that doesn't work, it might just be I need to place an asset there and it just sticks in that part of the screen. I don't know. I don't know how easy it is. I know I struggled a little bit with Unreal where the UI didn't always actively update as the game ran along. So this is just going to be one of my challenges is do I need to do it with an asset that just appears in the same spot every time and you can click on that asset, or can I use the UI to basically populate the UI with the assets and you can still click on them and interact and stuff. So uh, I'll have to do some research and play around with it. Randomized obstacles, sure. Again, like once I figure out the sizing, I think this will solve itself because then it's just math. It's really basic math. Division and rounding. Like, we're not doing calculus here, folks. This is just fine. Importing from Blender, I did this once in Unity, and I think the way that it's updated is you just drag the asset in, but there's like you need to be careful which way it's rotated, and Unity and Blender use different orientation schemes. It's fine. That's fine. We'll get it. If by the end of the week everything is working, everything's going to be working. Then I want to add stuff like controller support, and I kind of in my head already have it mapped out how I would prefer to have all this move around in the controller. I think it'd be cool. Right now, keyboard and mouse would probably be convenient, but wouldn't it be cool if we could do controller? Yeah. Uh, Unlockable skins and character selection. So, like, you could make your little character be red or green or blue or yellow. Maybe you can, with some of your extra coins, you can buy a cool hat. It'd be cool. All right, so that's where I'm at. And I'm going to trust and hope that I can get all of this done in 1 week. 1 week, starting today. So today's goals, day one, make all the assets in Blender, import them to Unity, start sizing everything. Easy. Cool. Day one. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm about an hour in. Here's how it's going so far. So I created a basic template, and as you can see, here it is in Blender. It's just a bunch of cubes, and then I can add and remove these cubes to make the new pieces. Um, this first one took me a while just because, again, I'm not great at Blender. So I needed some help to sort of normalize it and get it into Unity. So I made a first piece, and here it is, just testing it out. This is my gold block. That's going to be like it has all of the exits. You can go around the middle. Um, and so all I did was remove the pieces that I did not want to have in there, and then I colored the pieces that I wanted to be because it's the special gold block. So now, once I go back to Blender, then I can actually kind of systematically, I numbered everything, so I can say like from 1 to, I actually want to start with like 1 2 and go to, 5 6 2 or, so, piece number one finished and imported. And look, it looks all shiny. That's amazing. And the 3D effects there's just like the basic lighting and camera effect in here so far. I haven't done anything, but you can see it's shadowy. It'll give you a nice glimpse into like how far away the lighting is by the time I'm done. So great. Reflective material, everything works. It was a lot easier. I last time I did this, we did it as an FBX file, which is just like you save it in Blender as a special file extension, and you have to like export all kinds of things. But that was with animation and with all this thing. So one thing that I've got going for me here is there's no animation on these blocks. Eventually, I'm gonna do the character, and I'll probably do a little walking animation on that. But let me just get these blocks done. I think it's not going to take that much longer. Okay, so I think that's my hour one update. I think today's going to be a success. I feel confident about this. Awesome. Okay, so welcome to my favorite part of playing with Unity and Blender, which is normals. Um, so in Blender, I have this very lovely piece that I've created, and it looks beautiful, right? Like this is supposed to be like an S-curve kind of thing. Can't see very well there. It's hard to tell exactly because it's all gray on gray without rendering. But you can see I've got nice straight walls, everything's lovely, and then I import it into Unity, and it doesn't look good. So this is something to do with calculating normals, which is basically telling the software like, yes, I would like to render this wall and this wall. Um, it's not rendering. Ugh. Somehow I knew this was going to happen. That's okay. That's fine. We're fine. We're fine. I'm gonna play around with this. Hopefully it'll work soon. Okay, so fixed. But the solution's a little bit of a pill. You can see it all looks normal now. Probably the issue was with how I like sliced and diced these corner pieces to make them into triangles instead of squares. It's fine. Um, I'm saying that a lot today. It's fine. Okay, so I am approaching sort of the end of day one here. Um, and I have a problem. So I build all of the pieces, and there's like a large combination of pieces here. And we've got like the gold supreme block, white, green, and blue. Great, seems to work very well. The game window itself, and all is said and done, is probably gonna look something like this. So imagine there's a strip, maybe a little closer. There's a strip along the right hand side, and these blocks are glued together much more seamlessly than they are here. So you can place them like four wide along that corridor. Or in the case of a horizontal maze, and it'll be going left to right. Great, cool. Um, my character's in there. See him? Do you see him? Do you see him? I have really good eyesight, and I feel like I need glasses to see him. Here he is. He's just in there. He's Yeah, he's tiny in the context of the maze. Now I can scale him up a little bit, right? That's better. Once I zoom back out here, that's better, but he does not fit inside of all of the maze corridors, right? If I bring him down here, he's a little too big. So, so I feel like the like resize, so create the template so that I just remove the blocks in order to make the maze pieces worked pretty well, um, in terms of time. And then by the end of the day, I even figured out, with a little bit of AI help, I've been using AI to learn all of this stuff. Um, I figured out how to color the blocks very quickly, so that saved me a ton of time. And so doing these actually did not take a lot of work at all. Um, but again, my problem is fitting my character inside of these. So either I go back to the drawing board on my character design, maybe it'll just be a simple triangle. I don't know. It would be cute to have a little guy running around, but I can't. It doesn't. If you can't see him, then what good is that? Um, and so I can play with different scales, maybe 1.5, I don't know. But even that, like, it's a little red pinch of color. Um, I think maybe just a triangle would work. Um, Either that or I go back to the drawing board on every single one of these pieces. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at. That's a little bit discouraging. Um, I kind of suspected early on as I was putting them down that that might be the case. Uh, this is that sizing issue that I said was going to be a technical challenge. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's almost 6 o'clock now, so it's basically the end of the workday. I'm going to put this to bed for the night. Figure out how to edit videos. So that's my last step for the day, is doing something new that I've never done before, which is edit videos together, which is what you're watching right now, hopefully. Hopefully. So thank you so much for following me on day one of this journey. Um, I'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna keep going with this. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you so much for following me to the end of day one. I'll be back tomorrow. Please, 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 as we're a brand new channel, like and subscribe. Do all the things. You're expert YouTubers. You got it. Leave a comment below. Especially, I am curious if anyone cares to share their own story. If you suffer from color blindness, or well, suffer is the wrong word. If you have color blindness, I would like to hear what you think of my design. Is it going to work? Um, if you're into roguelike, what do you think of the concept? What do you think of the puzzle game? What am I missing? So thank you so much. I look forward to hearing all of your comments and suggestions.